almost as long time science fiction reader, and I'm of the paper generation. Even though I have an e-reader, I find myself turning to paper rather than using e-reader. The e-reader is easier when you're traveling, I think, because books are heavy. Books are very heavy. But when I'm at home or even just running around Kansas City, I will pick up a hardback or a paperback and leave the e-reader at home.
I'm Cheryl Medley. I used to be that way. You know, I've got too many books at the house. I got involved with the e-reader because I have a hubby who doesn't read, who's like really getting upset more and more with all the books I got in the house. And this just means I don't, you know, I have about 200 books here that are not, most of them are not in my house. So that's where I came from e-reading. I've been doing science fiction conventions for 20 plus years. So I came as a reader, I'm still a reader, haven't quit, and basically that's where I come from. I've done the whole turnaround thing to where this is it, this is where my books are at. You know. Tony?
My name is Tony Mast. I'm a podcaster, micro press publisher, and writer. I come at e-readers from the stance of someone who doesn't have time to read much with the things that I do, I have, but I have more experience with it from the publishing end and the marketing of it, and so that's probably where my topic, where I'll focus my discussion on.
And Henry?
Yeah, well, I'm an author. That's primarily what I'm doing, but I also publish these books, you know, and so I'm working both sides of it. I do the paper ones, and then I do the e-books simultaneous release, and I'm finding that I'm reading almost, probably 80% on e-books. I had to sweat when this panel was because I was off in the hallway reading the second Richard Castle novel.
Yeah, I'm like doing panels, so I'm not reading my book, but I'm finding more new authors because I'm going into areas, you know, small, I guess you would say small press, the ebook publishers, and I'm finding writers that I would never have known about because they aren't published in paper. On the other hand, like I started to say, I have about 5 authors that I buy their book in paperback form, or in hardback form, rather. Then I buy their book in ebook form because that's the way I prefer to read it. You know, so.
Now, you said your husband was upset about all the books around the house. Now that you're doing mostly e-read now, are the books disappearing from the house?
They haven't yet. Oh, well, I take that back. I purged out probably over 900 books last year, or over the last 2 years, and I've still got more to go. My science fiction, most of that went when Contra was still at the old hotel, because I was bringing them and selling them in. But I can sit down, and I've got this open, and I can read and I can eat. I've got both hands free.
Yes.
You know? And at work, on break, I got that. I'm not sitting there trying to juggle a book and eat at the same time. And that was...
And I don't drive a bus while reading.
No, I don't text either while reading. I'm barely learning how to do that. But that was sort of the turning point of getting me. And now I find, I'll be honest, I find that if it's not in ebook form, even though it looks interesting, I probably will not buy it. You know, I go on Amazon and the thing comes up and it says, do you want to read this in a Kindle? And I get yes if it's not, you know, and it's something I'm interested in.
Now, if you order it as a Kindle edition, can you then go back to Amazon and resell it? Like people
No.
can resell their paper copies?
That's one thing with the ebook form, that you bought it, you don't like it, tough luck. Because there's no,
It's a big mental break between buying a physical thing and leasing the content.
yeah.
And
So it's gone from being a physical object that you actually own to the same as going to a movie theater. You go in, you pay your money, whether you like it or not, so sorry, that's
Well,
it. You still
that's-
have to go in and
That's not
pay the
completely
money.
true, depending on which e-reader you use. The Nook, for example, that's Barnes and Noble's version of it. It's very similar to the Kindle, but one of their hooks for that book is you can go into any Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Nobles have Wi-Fi as part of that, and it's just most places have Wi-Fi anymore, but they have Wi-Fi. If you are physically in Barnes and Noble, I believe you have for an hour with your Nook, you can read anything in the store. So if there's something you think you might be interested in, you can take your Nook, go to the little coffee shop, get yourself a coffee, sit there, and go through books for an hour. Pick the ones you want. You have the opportunity. It's not a whole lot different than going into the bookstore, browsing the shelves, flipping through the pages, see, oh yeah, this one's good. You buy it and you take it home. Now granted, once you get to the end of it, that's it. It's done. The thing that Nook does differently than I think all of the others at this point is, for some of their titles, they give you the ability to loan that title to someone else. And I believe it's a one-time thing, and they can only keep it for like 2 weeks, and not all of their titles have this ability. But let's say I've purchased a book, I've read it, I liked it, and my friend who also has a Kindle, a Nook, I can go to them and say, hey, I liked this book, would you like to borrow it? And virtually use the Nook or the interface online and send them the virtual copy. When that happens, I don't have it available in mine, but they have it available to look at for I think it's like 2 weeks, and then it gets logged back to me.
there's a big conflict going on between what the big marketplaces are trying to accomplish with their various digital rights management on their ebooks. And Amazon has its, Apple Store has its, Kobo has their version. And as a producer of these things, I don't want the digital rights management on my books. And so as I send it out to the various marketplaces, many of them allow you to put it out without the controls. So all my Kindle books are DRM free, and same with my Apple store. Other marketplaces like Kobo, there's a check mark saying I want it without DRM, but their system isn't evolved yet to actually allow that yet. So, for some people this is a big issue, because if you have the book without the DRM, then you can pick it up, easily convert it from various formats. So if you bought Kindle and then later on you just got dissatisfied with Kindle and wanted to go to a Nook or something like that, then you should be able to easily convert a DRM-free book from one version to the other.
Well, that probably explains what they told me when I was talking to them out of Barnes and Noble about the Nook. They did say that that you could convert books from Kindle from the Amazon to being able to be read on the Nook.
Right.
Now, so they're probably talking about
Ones
that
without.
The DRM free, and with the Nook, Nook also directly accesses Google Google Books,